Do you ever find yourself thinking about the version of life you didn't get to live? The paths you didn't take. The person you might have been. If things had gone differently. Maybe it's the job you never got to try. The love that never had a chance to grow. The childhood that never felt safe enough to just be a childhood. We don't often talk about this kind of grief. The quiet, invisible kind. The grief for what never happened. For the what-ifs that still echo in the background of our lives. Grief usually has something tangible attached to it. A loss we can point to. But this kind of grief, it doesn't leave flowers or funerals. It's the ache that shows up when you realize you were too busy surviving to ever really live. It's the guilt that comes with time. When you see how many years were spent trying to be someone the world would accept. And even when life gets better, there's this soft sadness that lingers. Like a shadow that says, I wish I could have known peace sooner. That's grief too. Just one the world doesn't have a name for. Sometimes it's the childhood version of you. The one who learned to stay quiet. Who became the peacekeeper. Who never got to just play. Sometimes it's the teenager who dreamed big, but was told to be realistic. Sometimes it's the adult who looks around and realizes they built a life out of survival instead of desire. And then there's the grief of timing. The people you met, at the wrong moment. The chances you were too scared to take. The versions of yourself you had to bury. Just to keep moving. We tell ourselves to move on. But you can't move on from something you never got to mourn. It takes courage to admit that you missed the life you didn't live. Because part of you knows there's no way to get it back. But grief isn't always about changing the past. Sometimes it's about letting the past know it mattered. Maybe this is the real work of healing. To look back without punishing yourself. To honor the paths that closed. The people who left. The versions of you that never got to breathe freely. To say, I see you. I wish I could have been different. But I'm still here. when you let yourself grieve the life you didn't get to live, something quiet begins to shift. The ache softens. The resentment loosens its grip. And you start to feel something almost like forgiveness. Not for others, but for yourself. Forgiveness for not knowing better. For the years you couldn't rest. For the love you didn't know how to receive. And that forgiveness doesn't erase the grief. It simply makes space for both the pain and the possibility. Because mourning what wasn't makes room for what still could be. Sometimes we think grieving the past means we're stuck in it. But the truth is, grief is what clears the space. You can't build a new garden without cleaning the old roots. You can't make peace with today until you've acknowledged what yesterday stole from you. So maybe this isn't a story about loss at all. Maybe it's a story about reclamation. About planting new seeds. In soil that once held sorrow. If you're grieving the what if, please know you're not broken for feeling about something that never happened. You're just human. Finally slowing down enough to feel the weight of everything you carried. Let the tears come. Let the regret breathe. And then let the gratitude sneak in for the fact that even now, after everything, you're still capable of imagining another life. Maybe not the one you lost, but one that grows gently from everything you've learned. Because grief isn't proof you're stuck in the past. It's proof that you loved something. Even if it never came to be. You're not weak for looking back. You're not foolish for wishing it had been different. You're just human, remembering what could have been, and choosing, finally, to make peace